Hey y'all, it's your friend D, and in today's video, we're going to make a podium for the church. So last week we made the pews, and I had a lot of scrap material left over from those. So I decided to just use it to make the podium so these pieces won't go to waste. So you might see lines drawn here and there on pieces. And if I don't say anything about it, it's probably because it's a scrap piece and it already had markings on it. And some of them are a little wrinkled, but we're going to make it work. But I will go over the measurements for each piece. To start with, the front of my podium is going to be 5 inches by 8 inches. And the back of the podium is 5 inches by 7.5. I have two pieces for the side panels of my podium, and the measurements are 2.25 inch wide, 8 inches in height on the front side, and 7.5 inches in height on the back side. And the very top of my podium will be 5 inches by 2.75 inch. The first thing I'm going to do is take my front panel and my two side panels and glue them together. And I want to make sure that my 8-inch side of my side panel is what I glue to the front panel. And before I glue these together, I am going to go ahead and peel off the top layer of paper on these pieces. So just peel it off. And I'll do the same to this piece. I have both side panels glued to the front panel, and I did take off the outer layer of paper, and that is so when I go to paint it, I just think the paint works better on the foam board without that layer of paper on it. I left the paper on the inside, but you could take it off if you want to. If you're going to leave this open and maybe add shelving, I would suggest you take the paper off the inside also. But for mine, I don't need any extra storage space in the church, so I'm going to just close off the back of mine. So I'm going to take my back panel and glue it on. So I have my back panel glued into place, and now I'm ready to put my top piece on. And as you can see, because we made the back side a 1/2 inch shorter than the front, we do have a slant. So I'm going to put the top piece on like that and try to get it even front and back and side to side. So I'm going to get this glued in place. So I have the top of the podium in place, and I did go ahead and take the paper off the top and the bottom part of it because you will be able to see this part, and I'm going to have to paint it. So I just double checked to make sure this is going to fit in the church. And when doing that, I realized I still have to cover that seam of the folding wall in the church. And I need to put a base on the podium. And I think I have an idea that will take care of both of those things for me. So I have another piece of foam board, and this piece is 20 inches by 5 inches. And I measured in from one of the sides. I measured in 6 inches. So from here to here is 6 inches. And I'm going to just score on this line. Now that I've scored on that line, I can bend this piece. And I'm going to glue the podium to the front. It will be a tight fit for a doll, but this is all the space that I have available for the podium, so I'm going to have to make it work. And this back piece will hide the seam of the wall for me. I want this layer to be a little bit thicker, and I think I need another piece just to glue this onto. So I cut a piece to fit here, and I'll glue that together. And I may have to add some kind of brace to the side just to give some extra stability to this, but I'm going to glue this in place first. So I have my base glued on, and the top portion has started to curve because I took the paper off of it, and longer pieces tend to do that. So I'm not going to worry about it because one of the next steps is going to help correct that. And that is I have to get both pieces painted and add some skinny sticks. So this should help straighten this piece back out. But first, I'm going to add my base coat of black paint and Mod Podge. After the black paint and Mod Podge mixture dried, I went ahead and painted everything brown. I used the same two colors that I used to make the pews. So these two pieces are painted with this deep brown that I got from the Dollar Tree. And the trim is painted with burnt umber, and this is from Apple Barrel. And I got this at Walmart. So I have the trim on the podium, and as you can see, it does match the pew pretty good. And I had to go back to the Dollar Tree to find some more of these crosses because the last time I went, I ended up getting this pack and it was the wrong one. So I went back today and I ended up getting the wrong one again. I made sure when I went in and looked that they did have that one. I picked it up, but somehow still managed to bring this one home. So I'm just going to make it work and use the very first one. So I glued the cross on, and you can see spots where the glue hasn't completely dried. And I didn't want to use hot glue for this because I wanted to have the opportunity to move the cross around a little bit if I needed to. So using the tacky glue gave me that ability. So I'm waiting for the glue to dry. And I do wish the cross was a little bit bigger, but I'm going to just leave it as is right now. And I found this book in my stash, and I made this using Dollar Tree stickers a little over a year ago. And the inside is just foam board. I kind of roughed it up on the edges, and I used a mixture of brown and yellow paint to age the pages. And the back is just paperboard. And I almost forgot I had it. And so I'm going to use this and put this on the podium. And this is what the rest of those stickers look like. So, and I know Dollar Tree still has these. Here's the podium in the church, and it fits. It's a tight fit, but it fits. And the church can still close up with everything inside of it. All I have to do is turn the pews on their sides and then slide the podium forward, and I can still close the church up. So my friends, that's all I have for you. If you have questions about any of the items in this video, please leave it in the comments below. I will try to the best of my ability to answer your questions. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I'll see you next time, my friends. Bye-bye.